Okay, girls, today I'm giving you the inside scoop on my favorite place to save this spring. At Ross, it's the spot to get everything you need at prices you'll love. Because when you find brand names for 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices, you'll definitely be finding your next favorite outfit and more. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these deals on your favorite dresses and tops. And at this price, you might as well throw in a new purse or pair of shoes too. But Ross isn't just about savings. They're about giving back. This year, Ross and their customers raised over $4.1 million to support the Boys and Girls Clubs and local youth programs to help kids and families thrive. Seriously, just visit your local Ross and see for yourself, because I know you like to keep your closet full and your costs low. So what are you waiting for? Say yes for less at your local Ross.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Wednesday, April the 9th, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
Back in it again, real quick, y'all. We did the call to action for hashtag Justice for Hailey last Friday, and I knew lifers were going to start sending it to them, but I really knew they were going to catch up on Monday, which they have, and we've already got traction. The district attorney's office has already reached out to Miss Barbara, promising good things, and I'll tell you about it on the episode on Friday. But also, we have a first media interview, we meaning Miss Barbara, which is scheduled for Thursday, and we need y'all to please keep emailing, contacting them, telephoning them, however you're doing it, keep doing it, because we're recording this on Monday, so this is just the beginning of the iceberg. By the time you hear this on Wednesday, I expect there's going to be several more media interviews, and the more you press the district attorney, and do it respectfully if you can, the more you press the district attorney's office and the news media, the more they see that there's a story here, and the story is that Hailey was murdered, right? And we just want them to reopen it and fresh eyes and bring it before a grand jury. And it's working. So in our social media, Cyndi has a link with everybody you can contact, even a generic form that you can just basically copy and paste and send it in to them. If you just take 5 minutes, y'all, what if it was your daughter? What if it was your sister? What if it was your mama? You know, we are fighting to get them justice, and lifers, we can do it. It's working. Keep pressing the fight. And we're going to keep bringing it to you and giving you the updates and the good news. But I want y'all to know what you're doing is working. So thank you to Walk-Ons last night, a celebrity bar attendant with Kevin Kool-Aid Garrick. And we'll let you know how that comes out. All proceeds, of course, are going to LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. And now let's get down to some true crime time for Wednesday. Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
All right, cool. Y'all, I got a story. It started out at Meat, Louisiana, home of the Oyster Festival. Definitely my old stomping grounds, probably 30 minutes from us where we sit right now recording. A lot of good friends there. The cops there. Been to court there a whole bunch of times. And it's a tragic story. And the guy, basically, 34-year-old Joshua Bricotta, and he got arrested in Marina Del Rey, California, Friday, April the 4th, for, guess what, murdering his parents. And they were Mark and Priscilla Bricotta. And deputies said that Priscilla's body was found in the family home in Amite on Thursday, April 3rd, and her husband's body was found on the property afterward. And their son, the asshole they arrested, was unaccounted for. Now, Amite is in Tangipahoa Parish, which is, fun fact, that's the longest north-south parish in the state of Louisiana.
Oh.
Yep, that's the longest.
And Livingston's the largest parish.
No.
I thought you told me that.
Jefferson Parish is the largest parish.
Okay.
But anyway, Amite sits at almost the top, about 10 miles from the Mississippi line, and it's Tangipahoa Parish. And the deputies, after they found the bodies in California and at the home of his parents, they alerted the law enforcement in California that they were looking for Bricotta. And guess what? They found him in a matter of hours. And when they got him, he was wearing a green military style attire, and he had 3 guns in the van, including an assault rifle along with body armor. Now, I don't know what says more bad intent than you're all the way fucking across the country. I mean, you can't get further away from Amite than that.
No.
And you're dressed in military attire. You got a bulletproof vest and you're armed to the teeth. They got him and they charged him in California for possession of a loaded unregistered firearm, possession of an assault weapon, and removal of a serial number on a firearm. Ooh, the feds are going to love that one. And now they're holding him without bail in California until he appears in court, which would have been yesterday at the time y'all were listening to this on Tuesday. So, we got a lot of kids, right?
Yeah.
What do we have? 4 or 5? 4 kids and a grandkid.
Yes, we have.
We got a lot of kids, y'all. And I know probably been hard on them at different times in their lives, but never to the point where they're going to execute me. Right. I mean, I can't imagine. The only thing worse is a parent killing a kid.
Yeah.
Right. But killing your parents, and probably, but it'll come out what it was for or whatever. But I would tell you one thing, they're going to bring his ass back to Louisiana. And I know I don't have to ask Siri, does Louisiana have the death penalty? Because they got it. And I know Scott Perilou, the district attorney for Tangipahoa, who also is the DA for Livingston and St. Helena. Y'all have heard me talk about it many a time, but they're definitely going to go for the death penalty, and he is going to get it. So I'm glad they got the asshole. They got him off the street before he could kill anybody else. I think they said he was arrested like at a marina or something. And, I don't know, whatever, but thank God they found him. Thank God no one else got hurt. And hey, fuck stick, we can't wait to see you back here to get justice.
It's ridiculous. What could a parent do to?
I mean, yeah, there's some pretty shitty parents out there, but not worthy of. Yeah, but whatever your parents do to you, don't kill them.
Right.
I mean, let's talk about like actively raping you or something,
self-defense.
or they're trying to kill you. Yeah, right. But don't kill them. Yeah.
Let's work on not killing.
Yeah, not killing would be good, but that's the way the world turns. Always been killing.
As long as there's been living.
That's right. Breathing. And that's everything. That's
not even
that's
funny.
Beast mode, and animals kill animals, and humans kill humans, and humans kill animals, and animals kill humans.
Yeah.
All right. What you got?
Well, I hear your meat story, and I raise you a story.
All right.
Okay.
Oh shit! I've never been raised before.
Well, like we're poker raised.
I understand.
Okay.
I didn't think you were going to give me a raise for podcasting.
No, I was going to pick you up. I was going to raise you up.
You raise me up all the time. But give us a story.
So there is this horrible young man he's not a young man. He is a ex-con who just served 5 years in prison for larceny of firearms, breaking and entering, and malicious conduct by a prisoner. So you go to prison, and, the whole time, I guess he was in prison, his mama had expectations that maybe my son's going to get some help in there and come out a changed man.
It's not about the help. Maybe he'll find Jesus. Everybody finds Jesus when they go to prison.
Well, this one didn't find Jesus. He was out of prison for a week, and the day he got out, his mama posted, "My baby is home. Lord, thank you," on Facebook.
Right. So he gets out and, you know, most of mine that are still in prison are going to die in prison, but I always wonder about the families that stick by them and they get out and they're like, what you want mama to cook here? You want some McDonald's French fries, or you want a cold Budweiser? Or
go back
what
to
you want?
life.
Let's go home. And so proud my baby's home. Like the old David Allen Coe song said, Mama's been through hell since Junior went to jail. At nighttime, she ain't never failed to get down on her knees and pray because she loves him.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope I never find out.
A lot of people in prison got people that love them too.
Well, yeah, they do. And I hope I never find out what that's like. I can only imagine. But in Wilson, North Carolina, this mama did find out. And then she found out her son probably shouldn't got out of prison, because on March 31st, police responded to a call just before sunset. And inside the home of this call, they found a nightmare.
Okay.
And the son that had just gotten out of prison had shot his mama and his 15-year-old brother.
Maybe he didn't like Mama's homemade hamburger, put the tearing the bread off the edges.
Oh my gosh, I love me a good mama burger.
Well, you make good mama burgers.
Thank you. So Dana Jenkins was 50 years old, and she was the mom, and the 15-year-old brother was Darren Cox. And of course, there's the picture of Darren, and it shows him just full of life, like he's sophomore in high school.
15, living his best years.
Exactly. And so, like I said earlier, just a week earlier, Dana had posted, "My baby is home, ! Lord, I thank you, ! on Facebook. And she was celebrating her son, Daron Jenkins, Daron. And he was coming home from prison, and he had served more than 5 years. He was 25.
Yeah.
So he had been in there since he was 20. And he actually seemed like he was starting over. Like he came home with a good attitude, ready to start life.
Best of intentions until the meth pipe or something comes
But
along.
apparently something went wrong. And with no warning, he attacked and he killed them.
Well, he probably did it so he can have some prison cred. He was institutionalized. He's going back, and he was only in for burger and shit before. Hey, I'll kill my whole family. Maybe they won't rape me in the shower.
Damn. So Daron Jenkins was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and he was held without bond in Wilson County Jail. And, of course, right now there's no motive, no plea, what do you do with that? I mean, what sets someone – you're free. Be free, fly.
Institutionalized.
They don't know what to do.
Talking about prisons, when I worked in the prisons, every door had to be unlocked for you to go through and stuff. And I would find myself getting to doors in the public, like not my own house, but let's say a store or something, the door was shut and I'm waiting for them to buzz me in.
Right.
And you become institutionalized to all the rules and the daily processes and, just everything. I always said being a correctional officer is like serving time because you're locked up with them for 12 hours a day, if not more. And it's a whole different world inside a prison. The air doesn't even taste the same.
Right.
Now, let me tell you about another prisoner story.
All right.
This one, I can't really say that I shouldn't say I'm going to get in trouble. I can't really say I'm upset about this prison story.
Okay.
But it's still, I guess it's bad. But we'll go to Tucson, Arizona. And we talked about this county just the other day, PIMA, but I'll get to that. But there's a prisoner, and he was serving how many life sentences?
6.
Up.
16.
Yeah, absolutely. How'd you get that number right? I mean, I got some motherfuckers serving life sentences, but not anywhere near 16. But this dude is serving 16 life sentences. So he's a bad guy. We know this, okay? You serving 16 life sentences, that's at least like 16 different murders or whatever that you did, okay? And he, being Ricky Wassenaar, decided maybe he wanted a few more life sentences.
Oh.
And he is in the Arizona Department of Corrections, Ricky Wassenaar, and he killed a guy named Saul Alvarez and Thorne Harnich and Donald Lashley during a fight at the Arizona State Prison in Cimarron Unit in Tucson. Now, our hero of the story, if you will, and he's a shitbag, but he's kind of a hero. Alvarez was serving a sentence for Maricopa County. Used to be my favorite sheriff, and made him wear pink underwear and shit.
Yeah.
Live in tents. Anyway, he was serving a sentence for a Maricopa County murder. Harnich these are the ones that were killed. Harnich was convicted in Pima County, which we talked about the other day, of sexual conduct with a minor. And Lashley, he was also serving a sentence from Pima County for child molestation.
Yeah.
All right. So now our Wassenaar, however you say it, I told you, he was serving the 16 life sentences, but mainly it was for his role in the largest prison standoff ever in the history, probably in one of the biggest in the United States, but definitely in Arizona. And that happened back in 2004. This April, we're celebrating Earth Month. And it's the perfect time to think about the choices we make every day, especially the ones we don't always think about, like where we sleep. If there's one thing I've learned, it's the quality is sustainability. When you invest in something well made, it lasts longer. And that means less waste, fewer replacements, and a bigger impact on protecting our planet. That's why I love AVOCADO Green Mattress. AVOCADO makes certified organic mattresses, crafted with non-toxic materials in their very own zero waste factory. They've already diverted 85% of their waste from landfills, and they're aiming for 90%. It's not just about comfort. It's about caring for the planet with every choice we make. And here's something I really love. AVOCADO is a proud member of the 1% for the planet. That means at least 1% of every dollar they earn goes straight to environmental nonprofits tackling climate change and protecting ecosystems. So when you choose AVOCADO, you're not just sleeping better, you're giving back. If you're thinking about upgrading your mattress, do it with purpose. Choose one that's better for you and better for the planet. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better for you and the planet. Women, have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels off? Like you're stuck in the middle of a mystery and you can't solve it? Your energy's crashing, your mood's swinging like a suspect in an interrogation room, and no matter what you do, nothing adds up. Well, Cyndi has been there, and sometimes the real culprit is hiding in the shadows, is hormonal imbalance. Here's a twist. More than 1,000 hormone disruptors are living rent-free in our world, lurking in our food, our air, even our skincare. And when hormones go haywire, it can feel like you're trapped in your own personal true crime story, especially during premenopause or menopause. But here's the good news. This is the one case you can crack with Hormone Harmony by Happy Mammoth. All you need to do is take their free 2-minute quiz. You'll answer a few simple questions. Just like that, you'll get a personalized recommendation to help bring your hormones back into balance. No long investigation required. What I love is that Hormone Harmony is made with adaptogens, natural science-backed herbal extracts that help your body adapt to stress and hormonal changes, whether it's PMS, hot flashes, brain fog, or sleepless nights. This product is designed to help you feel like you again. Over 40,000 glowing reviews don't lie, and neither do the results. 86% of women say they started losing weight. 77% say their mood improved. And the biggest win, 100% say they feel like themselves again. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's HAPPYMAMMOTH.com, code RLRC for 15% off today.
So he didn't go in with all those life sentences?
No, he went in with some.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell you, he was convicted along with a dude named Stephen Coy of taking 2 guards, correctional officers, for Karen Artolano, I know you're listening, 1 man and 1 woman. They took them and held them hostage for 15 days at the Arizona State Prison Lewis complex in Buckeye, Arizona. So Wassenaar, y'all, his name is Wassenaar. He used the kitchen guard's uniform to trick another guard and to lead them into a prison watchtower. I'm not really sure how that works, but he did it. he got the uniform from the kitchen guard, correctional officer, by overpowering him with a homemade weapon. I don't really think most people know the kitchen workers, when they go in, they literally have boards on the wall with knives on them that are attached to cords, and they have to sign them out. I mean, you got to chop shit up.
Yeah.
You got to have dangerous weapons. And the correctional officer assigns to the kitchen, signs them out to them every day, and they have to sign them back in. Just like when they go to work in the fields in Angola, they have to sign out their tools, sign them back in, right?
Okay.
So anyway, he takes the uniform, using a handmade weapon, and it ended up being, the standoff was one of the longest prison hostage situations in U.S. history. Now, Wassenaar and his homie from back then, Coy, both had violent backgrounds, including crimes in the Tucson area. That was before the standoff. Mm-hmm. And according to Arizona Department of Corrections, Wassenaar had been moved to a prison in Florence following last Friday night's deadly fight. And a criminal investigation into Friday fight is still ongoing, and they put the prisoner on lockdown and all that. But 2 out of 3 he killed were chomos, child molesters and rapists. And I'm not saying that killing is good, but I'm saying I bet you whoever the parents of the victims of those assholes were deserved it. Now I want to show you something. This is Wassenaar.
Okay.
Fuck, he's older than me. Wait. This is the ones that he killed.
How's he have a...
Now, the one dude looks like an old chomo. He's definitely older than me.
Yeah,
Those other 2 dudes are younger than me.
Yeah.
And they look mean as fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
but they be dead. The prison justice, I mean, come on, man. If I'm in prison and I got 16 life sentences, fuck you. You got nothing to lose. Okay, what you going to do? You going to give me 3 more life sentences?
That's what I was going to ask.
You going to kill me in Arizona for killing 3 prisoners? 2 of them are child molesters? Nobody's going to do that.
So I'm going to ask a stupid question because as you know, I'm not what I'm learning about all of this, whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. If there's 16 life sentences, obviously there's no death.
No, I bet you Arizona has, but let's ask Siri. Wouldn't be a day without it. Does Arizona have the death penalty?
I found this on the web.
Capital punishment has been a feature of the Arizona criminal justice system since 1865, when Dolores Moore became the first recorded execution in the federal territory that is now the state of Arizona. They carried out 108 before in 1972, the whole country put a ban on them, right?
Yeah.
And they used to use hanging until 1934, and then the gas chamber, etc. And now let's see if it's still open. Yes, 1976 they reinstated it. Let's go all the way to the current time. Oh yeah, they're rolling. In 2021 they reestablished the gas chamber. 2022 they put a dude to death. That was the first execution since 2014. 2023 they actually had a dude, Barry Jones, get released from death row. So yes, they still got it. Do I think they're going to waste taxpayer money on
that whole process?
Yeah, because I mean, this dude's already old as fuck. He's killed 16 people. He just saved the 3 he took out, probably saved the state more than what it'll cost to house him for the rest of his life. Now I'm sure he's going to get locked up in the hole somewhere, and I'm sure it's well deserved. But
like you said, if you have 16 life sentences, what do you have to lose?
You don't.
You have nothing to lose.
Inmates or convicts that are listening, if you are fucking with a dude that's got 16 life sentences, maybe you don't want to fuck with him because he will kill you.
Obviously.
Wait. I saw something. This is funny. I don't know. So I'm looking up the serious stuff, and just popped up. It said, people ask, why do prisoners need condoms? It says, experiences from several parts of the U.S. and Canada and much of Europe show that condoms can safely and effectively prevent STIs in prisons. In leverage from lawyers and activists to characterize how prisoners are currently denied the right to the most basic HIV prevention tools may help to catalyze this change. Well, let me tell you something.
Oh my gosh,
you go to prison and you get condoms, that is condoning, maybe somebody's not going to toss somebody's salad and hump them, rape them because they know they got HIV or STD or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck giving them condoms.
That's
That's our money. I'm going to buy them condoms?
right.
Fuck that.
So they can have consensual sex
They're
or rape
it's against
without.
the rules. They had to sign the rule book when they got there. You cannot have sex with another inmate.
So you can rape some. I mean,
Nope.
so
That's
then
now
why
that
are we giving
anti-prevention.
condoms if you can't have sex and you can't rape,
Thank you.
why?
Exactly. Somewhere right now, as we speak, in
Someone's
prison,
undoing a
somebody is hammering butt.
On our money.
It ain't us. Anyway.
Damn.
Well, look at this question. It says, can I get sperm from my husband in jail? Who asked this?
Well, didn't we do a story about someone that was passing sperm through a jail and some girl got pregnant? Right. There was something that we talked
No,
about.
that was a dude that got arrested for, it wasn't that. He did something else, but it wasn't in prison.
Okay.
But who even would ask, can I get sperm from my husband in jail? I mean, what the fuck?
Why would you want to procreate that baby?
Oh my God, these questions are just stupid.
Okay, well, what's another
Do female inmates get tampons? What happens if female inmates get pregnant? Can prisoners be intimate with their wives? Can my brother be a sperm donor for my wife?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking killing me. I saw one the other day. Prisoner, you go ahead. I'm gonna look it up because it's kind of. We didn't mean to get on a prisoner kick today, but kind of on one. You go ahead. I'm gonna look this up because this is really funny as fuck.
So we're going to go to Compton, California. Compton has a reputation, right?
Right.
And so on April 1st of 2025, during dusk, it's the sun setting, and we've been in California during a sunset, and that's beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it looks like in Compton, but there was a mom and daughter driving down the road, and they went to a stoplight. The name of the mom was Tamika Lavon Hall.
Okay.
You want me to stop my story so you can tell?
Yeah.
Okay. She was 45, and her daughter, Malaysia, which they called Lele Martin, who was 22, went to go pick up her mom from work. So they're sitting at a stop sign. It's close to 7 p.m. And a car drives up next to them, and gunshots go into the car.
So a car drives up next to them
at the stoplight,
and they shoot the car that the ladies you're talking about.
Yes, and those ladies,
and like you said, it's dusk, the sun is setting, and you're in Compton, California, and da 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 da.
I'm not asking you. Do you want me to repeat it all?
No, go ahead. You've been repeating. Go ahead.
So I'm just trying to set the scene because I can't imagine. So
they're on a peaceful Sunset Drive,
literally
in Compton.
Normal day. Going to pick
I'm
up her
pretty
mama
sure
from work.
nobody wants to be fucking anywhere on the street in Compton.
Okay.
Sorry, Compton lifers.
So they both get shot. The car, because they're at a light, rolls forward and hits
the victim's car.
the victim's car.
Because
Because they're both shot. Well,
I know, but you also there were two cars.
there are two cars. The other car sped away.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you're telling a story.
The other car sped away, and the victim's car rolls and hits a stop like a traffic light pole. Mm-hmm. And police arrive to the scene. One of the mama is out of the vehicle laying on the ground, and the daughter is in the car, and she's also dead. So they're both dead. Okay. And so witnesses come forward. And so a neighbor, Debbie Straw, says that she saw the scene. She saw what happened. And she said to come out here and to see a mother and a daughter, that's really heartbreaking. And then another neighbor, Deidre Culpepper, says it's devastation. Compton is heartbroken right now. So authorities have identified the suspect as Dante Lamont Brown. He's 41, and he's Tamika's estranged boyfriend.
So it wasn't just a stranger drive-by?
No, it was not.
He intended to smoke her.
And as he drove alongside the vehicle, like I said, he opened fire, and then he went away, and nobody can still find him. So he is still free on the loose, and everybody's looking for him. But
I can't outrun the warrant.
Right.
We already know your name, buddy. They're coming for you.
Right. And so the Jonathan Bowers, who's a councilman in Compton, says it's very tragic for our community. We've had enough violence occur here in Compton. We're not pleased with this at all. Residents have expressed their grief and called for justice, highlighting the profound impact on the neighborhood.
Well, there you go. Can't outrun that paper.
But if you happen to know where Dante Lamont Brown is, call 323-890-5500.
And don't let him pull up beside you at sunset in Compton. All right.
It's not funny. That's horrible.
All right. Look, I wanted to do this story the other day and I totally forgot about it. Let's talk about conjugal visits.
Yeah.
All right. Louisiana, you don't get them.
Oh, you don't?
Well, fuck no. But the other states, and I've always been fascinated by this, the other states, they have them, obviously. They have like these little bungalows set up, and your wife comes in or whoever, and you sign up, and you go in there, and they have a bed, and you fuck.
Yeah.
To me, that is the stupidest rule in the world.
To not allow it?
To not allow it. To allow conjugal visits is the stupidest thing. Well, you're in prison, motherfucker. You did something bad to get in here. You don't deserve to be able to have sex with your wife, right? Well, it's, I agree and disagree with a lot of things about California. I agree that they have the death penalty, but they do allow conjugal visits. And, well, let me tell you why they shouldn't. Okay? So, not the same lady that you said, but probably close name, Tania Thomas, who's 47, and Stephanie Dowles, who's 62, stick with me, were each strangled to death during conjugal visits with their husbands at Mule Creek State Prison. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's where Scott Peterson is. So now, y'all, they weren't seeing the same dude or whatever. This was on two separate visits, just 4 months apart. So Tania Thomas, 47, was strangled to death while visiting her husband last July at Mule Creek. And then 4 months later, in November, Stephanie Dowell, 62, was strangled while visiting her husband at the same prison in that's according to California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. That's a new one. So Thomas's husband, Anthony Curry, is serving a life sentence for attempted second-degree murder. And he was recently charged with murder in connection with his wife's killing. Now, Dowell's husband, Mr. David Brinson, 54, was initially convicted of murdering 4 men during a robbery in the 1990s and had been sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without parole. All right. Now, the Amador County Coroner's Office told NBC News that they ruled Dowell's death a homicide, but are still investigating what caused her death. I'm pretty sure a process elimination. They said something needs to be done, and it should have been done 2 homicides ago, according to Jeanine Rowe, Thomas's cousin. She said, I'm sick to my stomach that this has happened to Tania, but then it happened again just 4 months after to her to Stephanie. It should have been prevented, you think? So the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, not working, says some incarcerated people are eligible for family visits which take place in apartment-like facilities on prison grounds. They can last from 30 to 40 hours. Motherfucker, they might as well be free. They might as well be free. There were times in our marriage when I had to live in other cities and I didn't come home and get to spend 30 or 40 hours at home, period.
No.
And they get to living up in a cottage for 30 and 40 hours.
Okay, girls, today I'm giving you the inside scoop on my favorite place to save this spring. At Ross, it's the spot to get everything you need at prices you'll love. Because when you find brand names for 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices, you'll definitely be finding your next favorite outfit and more. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these deals on your favorite dresses and tops, and at this price, you might as well throw in a new purse or pair of shoes too. But Ross isn't just about savings. They're about giving back. This year, Ross and their customers raised over $4.1 million to support the Boys and Girls Clubs and local youth programs to help kids and families thrive. Seriously, just visit your local Ross and see for yourself, because I know you like to keep your closet full and your costs low. So what are you waiting for? Say yes for less at your local Ross.
I wouldn't want to use that nasty motherfucker. You know what it's for?
Can you imagine the crap that's on that?
I'm sure they got trustees that clean it out very well afterwards. But I wonder if they allow them to have condoms. I don't know. But they said the California Department of Corrections says only those who demonstrate sustained good behavior and meet specific program requirements are considered. These visits are designed to support positive family connections, bang, bang, and successful rehabilitation. Well, how
is that working for them?
Both families say they want to see the eligibility change for those who are allowed conjugal visits. And they believe neither Thomas' husband or Dow's husband should have been allowed visits because they were convicted of violent crimes.
Exactly.
How about you don't let anybody have anybody come in to fuck them in prison. But I'm not done yet. So Dow's son, Armand Torres, 28, he believes that these visits, however much supervision they have now, should be at a higher level. I wonder if they have, you got count time in prison. I wonder if they got like slats in the wall. You open up, make sure he's still there. You know, they'd be boom booming. How much
like
boom boom do you think?
A glory hole to look through?
Yeah, like a glory hole. How much fucking can you do in 30 to 40 hours? But anyway.
You can do a lot in 30 to 40 hours.
All right, well, without sleep. So anyway, he said, Dow's son said, I want them to take some accountability for this. I mean, the prison. Because what's stopping the next person from killing their wife or son or anybody? Well, hopefully they're not fucking their son and, you know, the conjugal visits. Maybe conjugal visits. I mean, conjugal visit to me means sex. It's the only reason. Your son can visit you in the regular prison meeting room.
Yeah, but if it's a 30 to 40 hour period in an apartment-like setting, is the whole family going in and just having like a little, like, I need to know more about this?
I don't know.
Or is it just like, I'm going to
go out on a limb here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say conjugal visit means sex. But let me check and see. What is the definition of conjugal visit?
Conjugal visit means a visit to a prisoner by the spouse of the prisoner, especially for sexual relations.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you brought up the son. You said,
I didn't bring it up, motherfuckers. Well, they wrote the article. I didn't bring it up.
Okay, well,
that dude's daddy killed his mama and believes, they should have stricter rules and their son should get to come in. I don't know what the fuck he means. Chomos, who knows? Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're a big ballin', maybe Scott Peterson gets fangirls to come in. I don't know, but I think you got to at least be a spouse.
Oh, maybe they killed their spouse because they wanted a new spouse. They needed some new.
I don't know.
And then they're going to act good, and then California's going to say, "Oh, you're being such a good boy. You can get fucked again. Good for you."
Wash your dirty mouth.
Watch my mouth.
Wash your.
Wash
your dirty mouth out.
That's what you get for
it's my job to say fuck. All right.
They made love.
Oh no. That's even worse. Can you imagine? What you doing this weekend? I'm going to prison to see my honey.
I'm going to go make love to my husband.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I bet you there's a big market for a Viagra, an underground market in prison. Like if you got conjugal visits.
And condoms.
Or they could probably bring them in. Oh, condoms. There you go. Right back to the same shit again. I don't even know what to say about all that. You know what? All right. Update. And Cyndi always, talks about defense attorneys and the bad shit that they do and people are bad and they do bad shit. Why don't you just go to prison and take your lick, right?
Take your lick.
Well, they're a bunch of bitches and they want to try to beat the best system in the world. But I have told you extensively about Gerhard Koenig, who's the guy the anesthesiologist who tried to shove his wife off the cliff in Hawaii. And then, because she would take a selfie with him, right? And she's like, that's a little too comfortable. And then she comes out late, and he beats her in the head with a rock. FaceTimes his son from another marriage with blood all over him, said, I tried to kill that bitch and she wouldn't die, something like that. And she comes out and says he's basically been sexually abusing me since whatever. But they had been going to therapy. You know how that works. But so now Mr. Koenig has appeared in Ohio, however the fuck you say it, court just 2 weeks after trying to kill his wife, Ariel. Right? So now Koenig's lawyer does what lawyers do. And he's the lawyer for the Hawaii anesthesiologist who is accused of trying to push his wife off the cliff before bashing her face with a rock. But he says this story is more than it seems. And Gerhard Koenig, 46, again, was charged with second-degree attempted murder following the March 24th attack on his 36-year-old wife, Ariel. I told you about it 1,000 times, but stick with me. He got in court. Guess what he did?
Pleaded insanity?
Nope. Just said not guilty. And he said, I'm not guilty. So Ariel, who survived the attack, accused Gerhardt of trying to push her off the cliff, hitting her in the head with a rock, bashing her face, and trying to inject her with an unknown substance. I forgot about that, y'all, the syringes. And, guess what? Wow. They were from Maui, and they were the other island when he tried to do this. And this, I've never missed before. They were celebrating her birthday.
Oh, that's why they were there.
That's
He was going to kill her on her birthday.
And he brought the syringe. And he brought the syringe on top of everything.
He'll save some money on the tombstone.
But
one date.
Well, he got arraigned on that Monday, but prior to the arraignment, Gerhardt's lawyer, Thomas Otake, said his client's version of events will soon be known. That's what he tells them. They're still making it up. That's what they mean. He said there are two sides to every story, and thus far only one side has been shared. That's what Otake said to the media outside the courtroom. He's trying to get his minute of fame. The other side to the story will be shared within the court process at the appropriate time. And now Ariel, the victim, I know I told you this before, she's a nuclear engineer. And she tells the police that the attack, I told you all about it, when it took place when she refused to take the photo. And as the investigation went on, more troubling allegations followed. I told you about the restraining order, which she says he had been sexually abusing her for several months. And then he had accused her of cheating. He took over all her communications and all that bullshit. And anyway, I just wanted to give you a little lawyer love. But hey, according to his lawyer, you just wait till I tell the other side. And when they tell it, Woody Overton will bring it to you.
How are you going to explain away the syringes and the witnesses that saw him pounding her face with a rock? What's his side?
Yeah, I would go cover this trial in Hawaii.
If you like Hawaii?
But I don't like Hawaii. I mean, y'all, I love Hawaii. It's beautiful and everything, but I'm not going back. Period. So I don't know if it's because I was hungover the whole time I was there or what the cases may be, but I'm good with that. I'm good with Hawaii. Beautiful place. Go see it if you need to see it. Go do all the good shit. We did get to have some good times.
No, we had a blast.
And it was awesome, but I don't need to go back.
No.
I mean, we can go to Belize and I'd be much happier. But I'm going to start covering these trials.
Go for it.
Just because the trials are not like the Scott Peterson trial. Scott Peterson Scorched version 9,654. Y'all, I really think this is going to end in the next 2 weeks. I'm in the death penalty phase on that for Real Life Real Crime original. And then I will start telling some more true crime stories that I actually had involvement with. But your numbers, I mean, y'all hear me keep talking about numbers. I'm like a crackhead on the numbers, on listens and downloads every day. And every freaking Saturday, Scott Peterson gets more downloads.
I know. And then the funny thing is that I accidentally uploaded a wrong episode because we have 457 of them.
I don't even know what the number is.
And people reached out and said, did you,
Yeah, because
like, why am I listening?
I listened to this last week.
Yeah.
And we're laughing about it, y'all, because naturally the easiest thing for me to do in the world is sit here and read. And I try to do, mix up the voices a little bit or whatever and read the actual courtroom testimony, which fascinates me.
Right.
I mean, but even though I think it's stupid as fuck, that's why it's so scorched. But this is death penalty part is I would have given that motherfucker the death penalty just because having listened to the shit that they're putting on. Yeah. But the police fucked up this investigation. Yes. And had I been on the original jury, I don't know if I could have convicted. If that piece of duct tape comes back and it's got somebody else's DNA, like the motherfuckers that were robbing the house across the street the day she went missing, yeah, he's going to walk.
Yeah.
But he's still on the top of the news.
But that's why.
Like P. Diddy, the human trafficker, which we're going to be bringing you human trafficking stories. That's coming. Or live and on stage, raw and uncensored, Woody Overton original, Saturday, July the 19th, Southeastern Louisiana University, where I got my start in policing. I will be on the stage at the Student Union Theater, and it's a pretty big complex, y'all. And it's made for live shows, and there'll be alcohol sales and everything, food sales ahead of time and during the show. And the VIP event is afterwards. And go to any of your social media, get your tickets. There's still a few left, and the easy links are bit.ly/RLRC VIP or bit.ly/RLRC General. All right. And the hotel's going to be there. Y'all, we got lifers coming in. It's always amazing when I do a live show. They come in from all over the country. We stay at the hotels they stay at, and you got them the rooms for $50 off a night or whatever at the Home 2 Suites in Hilton, which is the newest hotel in Hammond. Yeah. And
it's their 1 year
Hammond's a fucking great town. We're going to be there throwing down, and it's Southeastern's 100-year anniversary.
That's right.
And thank you, Crystal Hardison, and everybody that's worked so hard on it, and we appreciate y'all.
And this is
y'all get your tickets.
This is a different take because it's in a theater, but I can promise you that we get to see who the people are that have purchased tickets, and 90% of them are people that have come before, because they know that once Woody Overton hits that stage, I mean, the first time I ever saw you get on the stage, you flipped a switch and you just turn on, and he embodied. If you haven't seen him live, it's an experience. Yeah.
But I don't get up there and
you're not putting on a
rehearse.
show.
Well, I'm telling a story.
You're telling a story.
But I feed off the crowd. And,
right.
And I have a base idea of what I want to talk about. And then I do just like I do now, squirrel, and I'll go off on a tangent and tell this other story, whatever pops into my head. And, it's probably not for the young or faint of heart. No, I can promise you it's not for the young or faint of heart.
So that's like Woody's role in it. And then my role is I want to make everybody feel at home. You get a welcome bag when you come to the hotel. Our VIP people are getting a really cool curated bag, and it's just a family.
Yeah.
Like you don't meet a stranger.
The VIP is afterwards. You get to show to it, everything with the securities provided by Southeastern Police Department. Your first drink VIPs are on me. Yeah. And we get to drink and do whatever.
And Brad Picard, if I'm saying his name correct, he messaged me the other day. He sends me emails like, have you thought of this? And I'm like, yeah, great. We've done that, because he hasn't come before. He's our new huge lifer.
He's going to love it. Yeah.
And he sent me an idea the other day to have name tags, and I sent him a picture. I said, I got those. He said, oh, I didn't know. I said, we've thought of it all.
I'm glad Brad's excited, but I'm telling you, they're coming in from all over the country, and a lot of new people also, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So let's get off of here. That's it. I got nothing else for you. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
Well, I'll tell you that. You hosted True Crime Time for whatever day of this week this is. I love y'all. Peace.